So right here, I'm just taking my Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion. I've been using this for years and years. I really like their skincare line. I actually need to go and replace it. It's a little bit pricey, but it is definitely worth it. And it's one of my favorite moisturizers that I have ever used. So I'm just putting that all over my skin. And then I'm taking the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, which you can actually use before you put on your makeup or after, so I'm just spraying that in. And then I'm taking my Benefit Professional Primer, which actually fills in all of your pores. You can see my pores, especially in my T-zone, so I love to use that for a smooth base. And then I'm using this brush from BH Cosmetics to apply my foundation. I'm using Kat Von D in medium 54, and then I think I also have this e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation. I believe that's in Buff, and I'm just blending those two together, and I'm just putting this on roughly with the foundation brush, but I will be going back in with my beauty blender once I get a base put on so that I can smooth it all out. The brush is good for getting it on my skin, but it can be streaky and it's a little rough. And so I like to go back in with my beauty blender, a damp beauty blender, and just kind of go in and buff everything out and smooth it all in. And so I fast forwarded through a lot of this or edited it out because it does take a while to get everything blended in. And then I'm using this Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer. I got this in my Ipsy bag for this month, and I really like it. And not only did I use it under my eyes, but I also used it on the points where I'm going to highlight, which is like the center of my forehead, down my nose, and then in my Cupid's bow. And I really like the texture of this. I actually bought some of the NARS Radiant Concealer, and I actually like this Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer better. And I blend all the way from the corner of my eye on up to my hairline. So, and then I usually bring that the concealer down some. I did like this. It creased a little bit, but I think that's because I had gone back in several times. So I think if you put just like a regular layer, you'll probably be fine. But I really like the texture of this, and I thought it covered well too. Now I'm going in with my Kat Von D Shade and Light palette, and I'm going to use the two shades there I'm going to mix those and go ahead and set my under eye concealer. And I also did my other areas as well. And then I'm going in with Airspun. This is a technique that I've seen by Patrick Starr, is one of my favorite YouTubers, and it's basically like baking, where you kind of just put on a layer of translucent powder, you let it set, it kind of supposed to lock everything in, and then you just brush away the excess. So I'm just going to put that all over, and then while that's doing that, I'm going to go in with my Too Faced eyeshadow insurance and use that as a primer. It's an eyeshadow primer, so I'm just blending that in. And then I go in just with a makeup wipe. This is the Yes to Cucumber. It's just a sample that I had, and I get all of the concealer and the foundation and everything off my lips, and go ahead and just go in with a chapstick. And then I'm going in with my NYX micro eyebrow pencil. I think it's in chocolate, and I'm going to start mapping out my brows, but I just use a clear brow gel. I had already plucked and tweezed and kind of cleaned up around there. As you can see, my eyebrows do not grow in right. They are very sparse and sporadic. I don't have like a good shape or anything like that. So when I do my brows, I have to start from scratch to draw them in, and it's very tricky to get them looking even. As everybody says, eyebrows are sisters, they are not twins. So I'm just doing my best to kind of try to get a basic shape. Sometimes this goes well, and sometimes it goes terribly wrong. So I don't use stencils or anything. To be honest, they don't work that great, and they're all over the place. So I really just kind of try to map out my tail where I want my eyeshadow look to end. and then I'll go back in and try to arch it, and then I will play with the front of the brow until I kind of get a shape that I like. And I know that my eyebrows don't look super natural. That's fine. That's the way I like it. I like a clean brow. I don't like a super thick brow on myself. I do like thick brows, but unfortunately, since mine don't grow in, like I said, I just go in and map it out the best that I can. And I also do the same thing on the other side, but I edited a lot of that out because, to be honest, brows take me longer than anything else. I can do my full face of makeup, just the base, probably in the same time that it takes me to draw on my brows. So I play with that for a while and just go back and forth, and then I will go in and use the brow comb to kind of disperse the product some. And sometimes I use the Anastasia dip brow, but it is very thick, so you have to use a super small amount, and you really need to get in there with an angle brush and just take your time, because it can overpower your brows very fast. So I'm just going to go through it, and I'm just showing you my brow routine because I've had a lot of comments on my brows, some positive, some negative. This is just what works for me. Everybody has a different face shape. Everybody has a different thing that they like. So for me, this is what I like. I wish my brows would grow in natural, but anyway, so you can kind of just see the basis starting to form. And I just keep on filling in and just kind of tweaking it. Like I said, it takes a while to do brows, but if you want to have eyebrows and you can't actually grow them, this is what you kind of have to do, is you really have to play with it a lot. So like I said, I do cut out the other eyebrow section just because I'm doing the same thing on both sides. And so you can see I'm just filling in it, and I like this pencil because it has like a super fine tip on it. It's like very small, and you can actually use a flicking motion to create a more natural look and simulate like natural hair growth. Obviously on here I'm just kind of filling in because I have a lot of patches and stuff, but it's really cool. I mean, you can use it to make some super natural looking brows even though they are drawn on. So, and here I started the other side, but like I said, I cut that out. So now I'm just measuring. I usually hold it up to the kind of the inside of my nose to see if they are even and if everything's matching up okay, and do the fronts look kind of even. Like I said, they're sisters, not twins, so they're not going to be exactly the same. Natural eyebrows do not grow in exactly the same. So now I'm going to go in with, this is just like a L'Oreal quad. I usually go in with the medium brown and the dark brown, and then this BH Cosmetics brush. This is my ultimate holy grail eyebrow brush, and it just totally came in a random set. So now you can see it's starting to blend more. I'm going to go in with the brow powder and blend it up, and now you're not going to be able to see that harsh line between my natural brow, where my natural brow grows, and where I actually started my brow using the pencil. So I'm just blending that upwards, and then I'll go back in with a spoolie and I'll distribute it. I'll kind of brush it down. I'll clean up around the brows. I like the look when people go in with concealer, but sometimes it can look harsh, especially if you've done all that. That's just like a little, that's actually a mascara wand that I got a set from Sephora, but it actually works good for brows too. So I'm just using that. It's just like a little rubber item, and I'm just going in with a small brush, and I'll clean up around the ends and just make sure that like there's no product that was left over or anything. Just kind of clean it up, because when you're dragging this brow powder down, they can get away from you. So I'm just blending that out as best as I can, and it's starting to look more cohesive. You don't have that line between the original brow and what I have drawn in there myself. So I just go back in a couple times and fill it in, and then I'll use a spoolie to drag it out. And then once I get everything kind of set in place how I like it, I'll go back in with a clear brow gel just to give it an extra layer of protection, because I don't want my brows running down my face if it gets wet or anything. And then I will smooth it out so that the hairs look, everything's on point and in line. And then I'll go in with a powder brush. I just brush that off, and then I use my Estee Lauder Double Wear, and I think it's in 2W1. It's a Dawn color. So I just brushed off that baking powder that was left on there, and now I'm going in with my all over powder just to add some more color back in. And then I'm going in with the Too Faced Ross and Rachel. It's a bronzer and blush duo. I'm just using the bronzer area, and I'm gonna go in and kind of contour. It is kind of bronze, but it's not like overly shimmery, so I do like to contour with this. Sometimes I'll go in with my Kat Von D contour palette as well, and I really like that, but it can get overpowering because it is a lot of deeper colors. They're more cool toned, and this is more of a warm tone, so I feel like this kind of works better for me, especially like for a nighttime look. I really like the warming of it. So I really love this set. I got it in a Black Friday haul or Cyber Monday haul from Too Faced, and I really like it. I know I've heard mixed reviews, but I enjoy it. I don't usually go too heavy with like dark blusher, but I do really like the bronzing element of this set. And so what I do is I start kind of where I have obviously a round face and my face is very full, so I kind of go in and try to define where I'd like my cheek line to be, and then I will go up the sides of my face all the way up around my forehead. Some people have like a super narrow forehead, so this doesn't really work for them. But in my opinion, since I do kind of have a wider, it's not like super wide or anything, but since I do have a wider forehead, I like the way that this looks. So I'm just going to keep on blending that, and then I'll take it along my cheek line or my jawline, and that will just kind of help narrow up if you have a double or multiple chin. That will just kind of help smooth it out and make it look a little bit thinner. And so I just play around with this for a bit. So I'm going to keep using that to kind of go back in and redefine and deepen up some of the areas that I have contoured and bronzed. And so this is just kind of you just go back in and blend it out until you like what you see. And then this is the Milani, I believe that's in Luminoso. I'm going in with the Fluffy Real Techniques blush brush, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in on top of the bronzer. And I like kind of more neutral or more natural blushing shades. I don't like deep reds or super deep pinks because my face is naturally red. And then I'm going to go in with this Becca sampler with these two highlights, and I think one is a white and one's like a pinky shade, and I just mixed the two on a fan brush by Real Techniques, and I like a super like in your face highlight. So I'm pretty heavy handed. You obviously don't have to be. I do this along the top of my cheeks, and I bring it all the way up to my hairline because that's what I like. I want you to be standing across the room and say, bam, girl, you're blinding me with your highlight. So I like a super heavy highlight. Excuse me. And so I'm just gonna keep on fanning that out until I get a result that I like, and I'll make faces and kind of you can see how the light catches it, and that's how I decide whether I'm done or not. And usually it takes a while for me to decide that I'm done, but I like that kind of shiny shimmery look. And now I'm going to go in with this white eyeliner pencil. This is by NYX. This is the Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and I used to line my waterline with black liner, but I found that white liner just totally opens up your eyes. So this is a Vice palette. I think it's a Vice 3. I don't remember which one, But I'm just going in with this lighter shade and then also a shimmery shade all the way over in the corner. And I'm going to put that under my brow bone. This is just a, what is this? I think this is a Sonia Kashuk brush. It's just like a little shader brush. And so I'm just going back and forth. You have to tap off a lot with the Vice palettes. Urban Decay has beautiful shadows, but they have a lot of fallout. I decided that wasn't shimmery enough, so I went in with some High Beam by Benefit. This is actually a liquid highlighter that a lot of people use on their cheeks, their face, but I like it under the eye because I don't usually like liquid liner or liquid highlights for my face area, my cheeks and stuff. And then I'm going with this NYX loose shimmer powder. This is in a white shade because I wanted a super shimmery super shimmery brow bone. And then I'm going in with the same flat shader brush and putting on this pink tone from the same palette, from the Vice palette. And I'm just packing that onto the lid because this is a Valentine look, so I wanted to go with like pinks and burgundy. And then I'm going in with this Sonia Kashuk large shader blending brush. I really like this. It's super fluffy. And then I've got this Real Techniques brush that I'm going to follow back up with as well. So I'm using the large one to cover the main area of my crease and above my crease. And then I'm going to use that smaller one to go back in and go in the crease area. And so I'm using that. I think it's Sonic is the shade. It's one of my all-time favorite shades. It's like this really cool rusty burgundy color, and I really love it. It's such a unique color. So I'm going in with that, and then I follow back up with that other shade in the crease area. There's not a huge difference in the tone once you get to blending them in. See, there's the fallout right there. I had to go back in with the fan brush and kind of brush that off and touch it up with my beauty blender. But I do actually go in with some tape, some Scotch tape, which is a awesome trick. I should have started off with that there to begin with. I don't press it down super hard. See, that's the moment I realized, oh, I should have done the tape. So I go in with the tape. I don't press it down super hard because I don't want to tear up my under eye area where I just did all that work, but I do hold it down, and then I'll use a darker shade to go in and define the crease and the outer corner of my lid with like a smoky burgundy brown. I don't remember the name of the shade, but it's all in the same palette. And this helps reduce the fallout and also gives you a nice clean line. And now this is kind of where you start to see some of the magic happening. That dark shade really brings a lot to the eye look. You can see it's kind of getting smoked out there. And then I'm going onto the eyelid. This is a flat, this is a round tip brush. This is from the Sonia Kashuk collection. I just went in with the bronze NYX loose powder. And then I'm going back in the inner corner with the white to open up the inner corner of my eye, and it just kind of draws your eye there because it's got that shimmer to it and it's a light point. So I go in and do that. Excuse me. And then I'll go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 liquid liner. This is in a hot pink shade, and I got these on clearance for like $6, so that was a really good deal because they're usually like $20 a piece. So I got a couple of colors that they had left, and I just put this right on the outside of that white liner. And then I'm going to go in with this Tarte felt tip liner. I don't love this liner. It's not black enough for me as far as eyeliner goes. And I feel that like felt tip liners tend to kind of get dry quickly in my opinion, but I do like to use them for mapping out because liquid liner can make a mess very quickly, and eyeliner is one of those things that takes a lot of practice, and even though I always line my eyes, it's still something I'm constantly working on improving. So I just go in with that Tarte liner to put out a base, and then I'm going to go in with the drugstore liquid liner. I think it's called like Cat Eyes or something like that. I think it's Jordana brand, if I'm not mistaken, or Wet n Wild brand. I can't remember which one, but it's actually a pretty good liner, and it is super black. You'll see the difference in pigment when I go back in with this liquid liner. As soon as I put it on the corner of my eye, you can see how much more pigmented it is and how much more smooth it is. In this felt tip liner, it gives you like a clean line. You just have to be careful not to use too much, because if you do get that area like too wet with the liner, it will crease and it'll get on your lid, and it'll get in the upper part of your eye, and it will make a mess, and you'll ruin your whole eye look just in a matter of seconds. So here's the moment. Bam! Look how black that is compared to that felt tip liner. It is so black. I love this liner. And if you don't like liquid liner, if you're looking for a good pencil, the Urban Decay, I think it is, Urban Decay liner in Perversion is like the blackest black. It's so creamy, and that's what I use on my waterline and to tightline my eyes if I'm using a black liner. But like I said, I've been using the Milk, and I really like that. I think it really opens up the eyes. It makes your eye look totally different. So I'm just going in and doing both sides with the liquid liner. And if you're wondering what that little dot is on my left eye, which would be the right eye that you're looking at, I just have like a little freckle mole that's on there, so I didn't draw it in there. It's just naturally there, but it's covered up with eyeshadow. So now I'm going in with this small brush and some of the e.l.f. glitter glue adhesive, and this is a Real Techniques brush. I usually use that for under my eye if I'm going to add in a powder liner or a powder highlight. And I'm just putting a light layer of the glue, and then this is Sally Beauty Supply brand, yes, 99-cent glitter, and I'm just pressing that in. This is in a hot pink shade because I wanted to have like a super sparkly eye for Valentine's Day. And we went to a restaurant. It's called Hamburger Mary's. If you've never been there, it is a burger restaurant and bar, but it also has a drag show nightly. So I wanted to have a kind of drag-esque nod. That's why my eye is so dramatic. And then I'm just going in with this eyelash curlers from BH Cosmetics. It's just an inexpensive eyelash curler, but it works pretty good. And then I'm going to go in my favorite mascara of all time, which is the Better Than Sex by Too Faced. I'm just going to line my bottom lash line, and then I'm line my top lash line, and then we're gonna go in with the false eyelashes. Now this eye mascara I love, but it can give you the spider lashes. I don't mind that so much. I kind of like a super thick eyelash look, but a lot of people don't like it, so you just have to be lighter, light-handed with it, unless you like a super bold, like spiky eyelash look. But it is awesome. It's super black mascara, and I love the wand on it. It's got like this very wide, fat, spidery wand, and I love the way it coats your lashes. So I'm just doing both sides, and then these are like inexpensive. I got these from the dollar store, to be honest. They're Color Mates brand, and these are in Diva, which are like super big batwing eyelashes. They're very dramatic, like you blink and you're gonna cause a breeze type situation. I love these eyelashes though, and for $1 you could throw them away, but I honestly reuse them several times. I just clean the glue off and I just put it back on. A lot of people trim their eyelashes, but I find that I have a pretty, I guess, wide eyelid, so usually I don't even have to trim eyelashes. If I do, it's very minimal, but when you do trim eyelashes, you have to be careful and make sure you trim them like a little at a time, and that you trim from the outside, from the outside in, because if you trim that inside band too much, they will not stick to your eyelid and they will be falling off. I had a tough eye eyelash day, as I usually do. I usually have one eye that's worse than the other. That is the worst eye right there. I had to try to reapply this eyelash like 3 times because it was not sticking to my eyeline, but I finally got it. I just edited that part out so you didn't have to see the agony that was putting on that eyelash. And that little tool I had was just a BH Cosmetics eyelash applicator. And this is Jeffree Star liquid lipstick, velour liquid lipstick in Below Pony, which is this beautiful like My Little Pony purple. So I just put that on, a couple layers. It's awesome. And then I'm just showing you my face look. I got one eyelash on. I didn't go ahead and put on the other eyelash until after this video, but that's kind of basically what the look looks like. And I just added in some photos as well. I'm showing you my contour, and at the end you can see the overall look and my hair done. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, please let me know if you'd like more videos. I really enjoyed doing this and sharing with y'all. Overall, it took me about an hour and a half to do this whole makeup look, which is a long time, but I like the way it looks, and I like the dramatic over the top, you know, and that's probably because it took me 30 minutes to put in my eyebrows. So